and the rest were like, we're gonna simply walk into Mordor. Rip to Boromir, but we're different.
Rip to Boromir, but we're different. Hi, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I'm back with what's her name? This is Jess. And like I said
We
last,
lived together for quite some time.
I don't know her. We've never met. I'm what am I, this zooming a stranger to talk about Lord of the Rings.
The lady at Harry Potter World thought we shared a closet.
That's because you said our closet.
Okay, look, it was a closet within our room.
Yeah.
It checked out at the time.
Still saying we share a room without like the preface of it being a dorm room is like
Yeah, in college. Yeah. We're not very good at the specificity thing.
We're not.
Or rather, I'm not.
So anyway,
What a long intro.
what a long intro. I'm back with Jess because she showed me for the first time Lord of the Rings. Yay! Extended edition. And
Because there is no other edition.
there
It
is
just doesn't exist.
and
Sorry.
I love them. I am hyperfixating.
Specifically on Mariodoc Brandybuck.
Perhaps. Maybe so.
And also the lovely relationship between Frodo and Sam.
Yes. That quiz I took, did I send that to you? I did send it to you, but I don't know if you
Did
thought.
you?
That says like what characters I am. The first one I got was Luna Lovegood, but then number 4 is Frodo, and I was like, I'm way more of a Pippin than a Frodo.
You really are more of a Pippin. Sorry,
I
man.
was like,
You just gotta be.
Luna made sense, and then Rachel Chu. I don't really know who that is because I've only seen Crazy Rich. I think that's the main person in Crazy Rich Asian, but
Didn't see it. I
yeah,
should. It
I've
seems
seen like
relevant to
parts
my
of it.
interests.
And then Willow from Buffy.
Well, yeah, you're sweet like Willow.
We've like barely talked about Lord of the Rings yet.
I, well, we're leading up to it. I'm sorry,
More.
you got me. Oh,
You
you're
guys have to keep watching.
okay. All right, fine. I focused.
Focus. um, as
Lord of
I'm
the Rings,
playing with Sticky Attack.
very focused. You see
Very
why she's
focused.
Pippin.
I'm what? Oh, I'm Pippin. That was
Exactly.
very Pippin.
What?
Huh?
What about second breakfast?
The reason why I'm Pippin is because I am also confused, but I want to help. I don't know what's going on, but I want to help.
Like, I don't know anything, but I will help. And Gandalf often says to you, no, no.
I thought you were gonna say "fool of a took."
Also that.
Yeah,
What's it?
that's the new phrase for instead of "son of a beep," it's "full of a took."
It makes more sense.
It does make, and it's more fun to say.
It's so funny because, like, I think also Pippin was somewhat well-to-do in the Shire. Like, Mary was, I think, like a lord of the Brandybucks, but Pippin was also fairly well-to-do and high up in his family.
Are they cousins?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
they're
I
cousins.
wasn't sure about that because I like
Wait,
saw some
wait.
people on the
Are
internet
they?
calling them cousins. They'd be like Mary's cousin Pippin, and I was like, they
I
don't say
think
that in the movie, so
I think they are cousins. I
maybe
know
they do.
for a
Maybe I missed
fact
it.
that Mary and Frodo are cousins.
Are they all cousins?
Not Sam because he is essentially a Gardner peasant from a Jane
Oh,
Austen movie.
but he's supposed to marry Frodo, Mr.
That's why
Frodo.
he's from a Jane Austen
I made
movie.
a promise.
I can't carry it, but I can carry you.
You know what I thought of last night?
I don't know.
What if Pippin and Mary had to bring the ring to Mordor?
Who had the ring?
Pippin?
Pippin? Pippin, he would have been approached by the ring race and they would have been like, hey, can we have that? And Pip's like, yeah, sure, I don't, why not?
You're like, okay,
Mary would just smack his hand, no, Pippin.
that would make it more entertaining. But you know what I also thought of? How Pippin would definitely fall into the lava. And then you could say, I'm Pippin into the lava.
Oh no. No. Why? But I thought you were gonna say something like Frodo clearly does more parkour that Pippin does not do, so Pippin would fall into the lava.
Frodo. Oh.
He's the
Frodo
one
does parkour since when?
apparently. Well, if Pippin fell and Frodo was able to grab the ledge, then I guess the only answer is parkour.
True. But Pippin wouldn't fall because Merry would save him.
Mary would dive off the edge after him, then realize they're both falling to their
I feel like that's more of a Pippin move.
Yeah, probably.
He'd be like, I have you, and then Mary would be like, no, you don't.
I have you. Yeah, but who has you? And then the Eagles come and Gandalf is like, full of a tuck.
Full of a tuck. I dropped my sticky deck.
Oh no. Get it.
I'm getting it. Okay.
Oh,
So, the Hobbits.
God. Okay, we're starting in the Shire, where the movie
Starting in
also
the Shire.
starts.
And they show us the
Oh,
Hobbits, and I'm just
should I
like,
get the maps? I should get the maps.
you should. I was gonna say, I just think they're neat, and I'm gonna edit Hobbits right here.
Okay, do that. Do that now.
Okay, I just think they're neat.
Now I'm gonna get maps.
A few moments later.
The nearest book to me was The Two Towers.
Yay!
And just for funsies, the map is long enough that it does not fit all on one page. So let's see, this starts, I think this is Gondor, that's Rohan. And then there's Lorien. The foothills, there's Bree, there's the Shire. Okay, so Shire is right there on the map. And then their journey took them to Bree, to Rivendell here, down through Lorien, and then some of them went to Rohan, the rest went to Gondor, and the rest were like, we're gonna simply walk into Mordor. Rip to Boromir, but we're different.
Rip to Boromir, but we're different.
That's exactly what Frodo said. You can't convince me otherwise. Sam was like, remember, Mr. Frodo, Boromir said you couldn't just walk into Mordor, and he's like, I have a golem. Your argument is invalid.
Rip to Boromir, but we're different.
That's so sad because Boromir was actually like a good guy before the ring was like, you know what? I'm gonna take over his head.
But Boromir, his dad.
Denethor
Yeah.
is awful.
Yeah. He's just like to the other son whose name I can't
Faramir.
Faramir. Everything's just so similar, I forget. So,
that's Faramir.
Faramir is like, Daddy, look what I've done. And he's like, I don't care because you're not your brother. I'm gonna burn you alive. It's like
Oh my god, that was so ridiculous. I remember reading that in the book and I was like, no, don't do that. And then I saw it in the movie and I was like, why? Why would you do such a thing? You're so
Pippin's
dumb.
like, I'm slipping it. He's just like, I'll save you.
I am a tiny little hobbit boy and I will leap onto this pyre.
Pippin. I laugh, but I relate.
He's we say hobbit boy, but this person, this Pippin, is like 40 plus.
Yeah.
Like, why don't he should know better. I don't care if you live into your like mid hundreds, you should know better by 40.
Well, if he lives into his mid hundreds, he's basically a baby boy baby at that point.
Does baby boy baby have an age limit?
What do you mean?
I've seen people who are very young and very old be baby boy babies.
True. I don't know if it has an age limit.
I don't think it does. I think it is purely action based.
It is. It depends on what your perception of baby boy baby is.
Yep.
But a fun thing with the hobbits is every time you see them, or if you have a favorite hobbit, you could say, I want to see my little boy. Here he comes. I want to see my.
Exactly like you did when we watched Return of the King and you were really into Mary.
Mayhaps.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. The Hobbits are just great though, because they had it made. Was it you who sent me that they were like the peak of Tolkien's fictional universe? Because they just drank, ate, partied, and
Oh
had
yeah,
fun.
cause
Yeah,
cause it
all day
would
long.
it was like someone made that post and then someone drew underneath it Gandalf and made it look like it was a speech bubble and he made that rant.
Yeah. Gandalf knows the tea.
He said, I just think they're neat and I also am gonna put them in danger.
Yep. He just showed up one day and was like, Hi, Bilbo. You are now my hobbit. Oh, and I am taking your entire family now.
And I would like Frodo, and then I'll get this Samwise guy to go with him. And then these two little ruffians are gonna
They'll just show
stumble
up.
into it.
I love the way they did it in the movie that they were just like, oh, we're on our way to mushrooms and stuff and taking food and vegetables. But like in the book, Mary, you'll appreciate this because you like Mary.
You've
But
said it like 12 times. I wonder if people will know.
I don't think they will. Do you know yet? I don't know.
Don't
But
you like Legolas?
I am so undecided in who I like.
Because you like Legolas and you like Frodo and Sam, but you also
Yes.
want Frodo and Sam to be together.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm cool either way. But okay, Mary. He planned Frodo leaving the Shire. He was like, okay, I got you a different house. I set up Fatty Bolger, that's literally his name, Fatty Bolger,
Wow,
to
of
house
course.
sit for you and pretend to be you and hopefully not get killed by Ringwraiths. And I'm going to ferry you out through the forest out of the Shire by way of Tom Bombadil. And he's like, okay, whatever Mary says, I guess I'll just do it.
I feel like Mary is such a big brother to Pippin that he very much has that, like, I am your mother. Like,
Yeah, he just assumes he has to mother everyone.
right. Like, that's all he knows with Pippin, so he just tries to take care of everyone. And it's so sweet.
And then Sam pops up and is like, excuse me, that is my job.
He said, I am mom, but thank you.
Yeah. I am Frodo's mom, you can go be Pippin's mom. Pippin's like, Mommy!
There was this, the one I sent you. What was I saying? Oh, the one I sent you that was like the hobbits and piggyback rides. And it was like, all I remember was like Mary was like enjoys piggyback rides, thinks they're like relaxing and fun. And then it was like Pippin climbs on your back and demands to be carried. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's our good friend Peregrine.
Full of a talk.
Oh my god. Yeah. The just the Shire is like probably the best place to hang out in Middle Earth in case any of you are planning a trip. Um but
You know what's really interesting? Even before I saw Lord of the Rings, I was very much into the Hobbit type homes.
yeah.
Like that design. Because, oh, Oreo wants into my room, so. What was I saying?
Uh the Hobbit holes.
Oh, yeah. Because there was this house that I would pass, like, driving to my apartment. And, it had, like, the Hobbit type, like, door style. And it was just, like, shaped so cute. And I was like, I love that little house. And I want a Hobbit type house. I was like, I feel like you can find them more in England, though.
Probably. They're they also seem very Irish in everything
Yeah.
they not that I would have any special knowledge of that.
No, you know nothing about Ireland.
I'm glad that my last name is down there this time so that they can see how very Irish I am.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
It It is. Okay.
Like I've said, hyperfixation.
All right. So moving southward from the Shire, following Tolkien's extensive maps, they went to Rivendell next, and they met. Well, actually, they went to Bree next, and they met Aragorn in the movies. We're just gonna follow the movies. So sorry, any fans of Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, I've only seen the movie. Oh, Oreo's in here. I've only seen the movies.
She was summoned by Talk of Elves.
She was. I don't think she can hear you, but
Yes, she can. She has super hearing.
sure she's sniffing the air. She's looking for you.
That's fair. She can definitely smell me from thousands of miles away. That's fine.
She's
Um,
staring at me.
yeah. Okay, all right. So back up. We're in Bree and Aragorn.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Thoughts on Aragorn?
He's I think he's my sister's favorite now.
I mean, he is attractive to start. But he's just very like, I like how he finds these hobbits and he's like, must protect. And he's like,
Yeah. He is must protect, but also like in the grumpy uncle kind of way. Like, oh my god, these children.
like,
Like during the second breakfast scene.
true.
We already had it.
What about second breakfast? I relate because sometimes I take a nap after first breakfast and I want second breakfast.
I found, did I send you the list of Hobbit meal times?
No, but I would like to see it.
Okay, so it's every 2 hours from the time they wake up. Because there's breakfast, second breakfast, elevensies, lunch, tea time, dinner, and supper. I can't remember which is first, dinner or supper, but there are like 7 meals of the day.
Wow. Oh, to be a hobbit. I always feel like I never, like, even when I hadn't watched Lord of the Rings, I didn't know much about it. I was just like, I have been called a hobbit before. So, like, given that I am small, so
It is a compliment.
it
Like,
is. I
yeah,
like
they're
that.
small, but also in Bree, when they met Strider, whenever Sam, Mary, and Pippin bust into the room, Sam was ready to throw down with his fist, and I think one of them had a chair.
I remember that. It was either Pippin or obviously it was either Pippin or that was. I feel like it was Pippin carrying the chair. I don't
It
know.
seems like a Pippin move,
It
but I
did
can't
feel like
remember.
they were ready to throw down, and that's the thing is like you'd think that they wouldn't. Like you'd think that they'd see everyone being bigger than them, and it's like, well, I can't win this fight. But then Mary's like, listen, I have a sword. I'm coming with you, and so he did.
He did. He absolutely did. And just Sam in the Mines of Moria, he killed an orc.
He did.
He almost got his head split open, but he was like, I'm killing this orc.
But the
It's
thing
fine.
Sam would do for Frodo, and then for them to not get married, I just have some thoughts.
Tolkien, we just want to talk.
Tolkien, like George R. R. Martin being like, you didn't kill enough of your characters. Shut up, no one cares. He
Yeah,
did.
it's not important.
What's
You
it?
don't have to kill characters to have a good story.
You
Like
don't.
there's a point, there's a crossover point when killing characters is just cheap.
There's like the turf Rowling who killed too many characters. Personally, I think because there was no need.
You mean one too many.
One too many. I mean,
Because Fred,
yeah,
Fred worked.
but also, what was the point of killing both Sirius and Remus and Tonks?
Tears.
You killed Dobby. You killed Fred took
I
a
mean,
nap. And like,
here's the thing, though, tangentially about the last Battle of Hogwarts. There should have been statistically a higher death count
that's
for
true.
that.
That's true.
But because we didn't know enough people to make it matter, she had less people to work with. So
Should have
she had
killed a Malfoy. Sorry.
That's fine. I would have been okay with that, but
I don't think she should have killed Draco. I think she should have killed Lucius.
Lucius kind of deserves it.
Anyway,
I enjoy Lucius as a character, but he kind of deserves it.
it's okay for us to talk about Harry Potter in this Lord of the Rings video because she so copied so many things.
Oh my god, yes. Let's see. Ring race. What are those? Oh, Dementors. Um, Dumbledore. Rip off Gandalf.
Fred and
Uh,
George are Merry and Pippin.
very clearly.
Speaking
And Frodo is just Harry, and especially like Return of the King-ish Two Towers is equivalent to Order of the Phoenix when they're both PMSing. Let's see. What else? Uh there are just so many things that she just straight up copied. Oh, evil Dark Lord. Yep. Splitting souls into jewelry.
yes,
Where'd you come up with that one?
the cows were reenacting Lord of the Rings.
Clearly, obviously.
See, with Fred and George and Merry and Pippin, everyone knows that I like George over Fred, which is rare. But and I like Merry over Pippin. But I am Fred and Pippin. I feel like I'm not as much as a prankster as Fred, but like they have the more chaotic energy out of their
Yeah.
duo.
Yes, you are chaos. You are wild.
I literally every night before bed think about Lord of the Rings.
And then you read some fan fiction.
We all do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
It's important
Okay.
when your author doesn't make the people who are obviously soulmates end up together.
I know. Also like Legolas and Gimli.
True.
Just saying.
Here's the thing: like, if they hadn't married anyone, like, it would have been more satisfying. But then Sam had to have a wife.
Very Rosie Cotton.
She seems like a nice lady.
She's fine. She's cute. She likes to dance. She's almost always on screen shown carrying like 2 flagons of ale. So I'm all for Rosie. But like
But
Frodo,
like, the main
you look so
issue with
sad.
Rosie is that she's not Frodo.
Yeah, it's very sad. And also, like, on the subject of females and marriage to the Fellowship, like the only good female was Eowyn as far as the movies go.
Yeah, because Arwen had a small
T-pose
part.
in Rivendell until
she
Aragorn comes back.
That was her entire character, just T posing until she can end
Yeah.
up with Aragorn.
Everyone came in and was like, Arwen, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm waiting. Waiting for what? Aragorn. You're gonna
uh,
die, you know. Don't care.
in my head, I am part of the Fellowship.
God. But like Eowyn was just the best. Okay.
But she had a sword.
Man. And she took Mary with her to the final battle.
I know. She said, I'll carry you for now.
You're like, you can take him to the battle, but you better not touch him. Not my boy.
You can take him to the battle. But
Have him home by 11.
yes, have him home by 11. I made pie.
And she's like, well, seeing as the battle is hundreds of miles south of his home, that might be a little rough.
But I was the thing is the movies, obviously, because they're movies, they make the journey seem so much shorter because the journey across Mordor, from what I read, was 11 days,
Mm-hmm.
and it did not seem that long. And the whole entire journey was like 11 months, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It was, oh my God. You remember the Ents?
Hmm?
The Ents, the tree people?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they weren't terrible in the movie. They were about like 10 minutes of them being ridiculous and saying good morning for a whole day. But like in the book, it was like, okay, what are they doing now? Oh, we're just talking. And Mary's like, can we pick up the pace? And they're like, don't be hasty.
I really liked Mary with them.
Treebeard?
Hmm?
Treebeard?
Yes, Treebeard. What was that one line he said? He was like, it's Oh, they were like, that's not my problem. They're like, whatever.
Oh, it was something like it will be your problem eventually.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Any luck?
It was like, what if we just went down and kicked Isengard out of, or Saruman out of Isengard? God,
I'm gonna look up memes.
too many fun names.
I know, that's the thing, is like I sometimes get the names confused. Like I'm getting better of like Eowyn and Arwen.
Yeah. The thing is, they sound very similar, but in the book they're spelled very differently.
Yeah, now that I've seen,
So,
that's the thing, is like watching the movies, I get confused, but now like when I like look stuff up and like read it, I'm like, okay, this is very obvious as to
yeah.
who is who based
I'm
on spelling.
I've heard that keeping the name straight is even harder in the Silmarillion, and I'm like, I want to read that. I heard challenge.
You heard challenge and you said accepted.
Exactly. Uh, so while you're looking that up, what do we think of elves in general?
I mean, very pretty. Great
They are
skin.
so pretty. Yes. They're just they're just pretty. That's it. That's them.
Personally, I wasn't very attracted to Legolas. I just find him to be more attractive as a pirate.
Okay. Look, I saw him as an elf first.
Yeah.
But also he's just objectively attractive.
He is.
And he's got some sass in him, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I loved his competition with Gimli.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I feel like as far as the movies went, Gimli and Legolas were there to complement each other and give each other a personality and reason to be there. Because if one was there without the other, they wouldn't be have as much to them as they did.
Yeah.
But I mean, I liked how the Fellowship was representative of all the are are they species or races?
I will like think of it in D&D terms.
I think it's races is what it is.
I
Oh my
so
god.
do.
I play D&D. I
I know,
should
that's why.
I think it's races. Races.
I found the quote. It makes me so happy
Okay,
because
what's
he's
your
so
quote?
passionate. He said, "But you're part of this world, aren't
I love how passionate you are
you?"
when you want to be passionate. God.
I just think the hobbits are neat.
God.
That's how.
Yeah.
That's
They're
like
pretty.
Aragorn is the like, I'm gonna protect them, but they annoy me. And Boromir's like, I just think they're
Yeah. And Gandalf is like, they make some good smokes.
neat. Gandalf's like, they have decent parties.
They let me set off fireworks, mostly because they can't stop me. I love Gandalf too. He's so much fun. He's like this sassy old guy. And literally when he goes into Rohan for the first time into Theoden's Hall, they're like, "You must put aside your weapons, including the wizard's staff." And he's like, "You wouldn't deny an old man his walking stick."
Come on.
And and then he literally walks without it. Straight. It's like, cool.
uh, it's so good.
It is. Oh, let's touch on Gollum.
Oh God.
What fun boy.
I was just so uncomfortable.
Generally, yeah, yep.
It
Hmm.
wasn't the whole like Smeagol Gollum thing. It was just how he looked. Like,
It was, I don't know. It was I think it was the fish. It was the fish.
the
It was
fish.
when he would crack open the fish and just it's like, no. I'm with Sam. You boil fish, like you boil potatoes, boil them, mash them.
My friend is worth at least 5 potato.
I think I think Sam is like, Frodo is worth all potato.
All potato. I will farm all the potato for Mr. Frodo.
He's like, here you go, Mr. Frodo. And Frodo's like, please tell me this is an engagement present.
Every day he shows up at Frodo's store with another potato.
And Frodo's like, cool. I guess I'm having baked potato again.
He's like, Sam, I've had potato every night.
Sam's like, it's because I love you.
uh,
Like, alrighty. But, oh my god.
What else I was gonna say. Oh, when I first Lord of the Rings has been around, I was it never really felt the urge to watch it just because of how long it is. And I don't sit through long things.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know if I'd like it, cause I don't really. I saw a couple episodes of
Game of Thrones?
Yeah, and I didn't care for it.
It's very different. I
very
also
different.
have only seen a couple episodes of Game of Thrones.
I just knew it was fantasy, and I was like, and the only other experience I really had with fantasy besides Harry Potter, which isn't really, or Star Wars, which is completely
Yeah,
Star Wars more sci-fi, but
yeah, I think it's Tolkien's high fantasy
right,
and
that's
modern fantasy.
the only high fantasy I really had experience with was Game of Thrones, so I was like, I didn't like that, so I don't know if I.
You knew Narnia, right?
True, I did. I didn't even think of that. I loved
Narnia.
Narnia, so I don't know why I never thought.
Lewis and Tolkien were besties.
That's true.
The lantern story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tolkien was like, no self-respecting high fantasy novel would have a lamppost in it. And Lewis was like, is that so? Sticks lamppost right in the middle of Narnia. How do you feel about that, Jonathan?
Oh, that's perfect.
I love it. They were so good. I wish I could be in their writer circle, but they're dead. So
you're like, Mr. Tolkien, what should I write about? Do whatever you want. I'm super dead.
A plus, 10 points to Hufflepuff for the Hamilton reference.
Thank you.
And oh my god. Yeah, so Lord of the Rings is high fantasy, but it's very well done. High fantasy.
I don't know. I think it was just screenshots. I thought there would be more war.
Not so much.
Not so much. And I liked it. I did like it a lot. I don't know why I was hesitant to watch it besides the fact that it was super long.
Yeah. I was worried that I would make you watch it and you'd be like, okay, Jess.
No.
But I'm so happy.
It has become the highest of honors. Hyperfixation. Every time I do that, there's gonna be a.
Yeah, I'm very happy that it has made the hyperfixation.
Yay! It is now in the rotation.
Oh, the rotation.
Yeah, I just don't even know what to say. I just clap.
I think in conclusion we can say Tolkien made so many languages for this one area of his fantasy world, and I'm like, he writes poetry in Elvish and puts it in the book, and it's cool. I can't read that.
But didn't you learn how to? Should we put that in the video?
I did learn to speak some Elvish when I was younger, but also I first read these / watched these in elementary, so I don't remember. I'm filling my head with Japanese now.
Oh, I wanted to talk about how I accidentally called him Marianne.
You'd have to explain my mother's part in that.
That's up to you. I don't know if she wants.
She doesn't have to know. She doesn't know YouTube.
Do you want me to tell it or you tell it?
No, I can't. Okay. So my mom does the mother thing, which is falling asleep during long movies, such as the extended edition of Lord of the Rings. And I was watching them for a second time. I think it was during a winter break of some high school year or something. And they were running through Fangorn Forest, Merry and Pippin were, and we always referred to them together, Merry and Pippin. There we go. But we apparently didn't pronounce the D in and hard enough, and so she asked, which one is Merry and Pippin? And I was like, they both are. And she's like, no, no, which one is Merry and Pippin? And I'm like, they are. And she's like, I don't know which one is, like, she was like, okay, there are two boys on screen. Which one is the girl, Mary Ann Pippin?
Oh.
She thought she thought the name was Mary Ann Pippin.
Oh.
And
It's so cute. My mom, it's okay. My mom, when we were watching the new Star Wars movies, I said to her, I explained to her how Donald Gleason was also Bill Weasley. And I don't know, something came up. My dad asked who played Snape, so I was like Alan Rickman. So she heard Snape, she got confused, and so we're watching the next Star Wars movie, and she goes, "Where's Snape?" And I was like, "Not in this movie."
oh,
But then I messed up because I was thinking about how her mom called them Mary and Pippin. And I was trying to figure out who was who because I already had an idea of which one I liked. I just didn't know his name. So I said, which one is Marianne and which one is Pippin?
I was like 8-2 Lindsay.
I literally immediately I went, wait, no. So that's all we have for our talking about Lord of the Rings video.
Well, all we're gonna subject you to.
Right, because I could talk about it for hours because I loved it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We discussed Tolkien's world for an eternity.
Yeah. And yeah, that's all I have today. Tune in on Wednesday. If you liked this video, like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye!